situation in the Gulf there from a leadership standpoint. How has it been handled in your estimation? And if it hasn't been well, where did it go wrong?
Well, I mean, there's so many points of analysis here that we could talk for hours. I mean, clearly, it was a high-risk, high-reward kind of venture to begin with the very, very deep water drilling effort that was going on, and under those circumstances you would expect that so much due diligence, so much preparation for all the scenarios that could have gone wrong would have gone into this, and I don't think there's any question that BP in a lot of ways has done that. I think a lot of their communications have fallen short. They certainly haven't built a great following or empathy toward the disaster that has befallen their company and the Gulf and the industry and those kinds of things. And I mean, I think this will be a textbook case for academics for years and years to come on crisis communication or the lack thereof, and you know, really building a climate of getting people in your corner when a crisis hits your organization. And frankly, you know, I think all sides in this matter have not acquitted themselves very well. Probably the person who's done the best would be the most recent one, and that would be Jimmy Buffett, in my opinion, coming in and doing what he does best, focusing people on having fun and looking into the future and reminding people that there is a tourism industry here that is still viable in the region.
Good for him. Speaking of cheerleaders, I guess President Obama is coming back to Michigan. He's going to be in West Michigan, Grand Rapids, on Thursday at Compact Power. That's a battery plant, a new battery plant. There'll be some job creation there, and so he'll be in for a quick speech, just a whistle stop, landing at 12:35 at Gerald R. Ford Airport, taking off at 3:05. But I'm looking at an article in U.S. News and World Report, and it's written by Mort Zuckerman, who I'm sure you've read or maybe even know. He says, the hope that fired up the election of President Obama has flickered out, leaving a national mood of despair and disappointment. A year and a half ago, Obama was walking on water. Today, he's barely treading water. And he has a 45% approval rating, the lowest of his presidency. Any thoughts from a leadership standpoint on President Obama?
Well, if you look at the agenda that the Obama administration has put forward in a relatively short period of time, they have moved forward very aggressively and changed a lot of things, and many of those things are not sitting well with various constituencies. And when you pull that together and you look at, you know, I mean, some of the long-term implications of the debt that this country is accruing and who's going to pay for, it's not surprising that various constituencies are now saying, wait a minute, there may be more to this than I expected, and I'm not sure this is in my personal interest when you have so many different areas of endeavor going on. I mean, if you look at the Obama administration, it's not just the health care. I mean, it's financial regulation. It's look at the work they've done over the last couple of years in the auto industry and so many different industries where the government seems to be playing a much, much larger role, and ultimately all of us pay for that in some way. So I'm not surprised that the constituency is sitting up and taking notice and wondering, is this good for me?
All right. Thank you very much for the early call this morning. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing you soon.
Great to talk with you, Michael Patrick.
Dr. Keith Priddy, the president of Northwood University, 50 years of producing leaders there at Northwood.